Well, hey guys, what's up? It's your boy, one and only AI Legends, and yeah, guys, today I am back with the next part of What If Naruto had bent Tennyson powers and was neglected by his family. So I hope that you guys enjoy the series as I have already uploaded, you can say, two parts of this series. If you guys have not seen it, please check it out my channel. It is a new channel, but still, it has, you can say, reached pretty good subscriber rate. So I really thanks all of you guys for that. So yeah guys, I hope that you guys enjoy this series, but before starting this video I would like to make a request to all of you guys who are watching this video to come on guys, if you guys are new to this channel or if you guys have not subscribed yet, please guys subscribe to my channel. It will really help me a lot. So yeah guys, without wasting any more of your time, let us start with the flashback of this video. So yeah, as last time we left off as we saw that how Naruto's training finally ends with Asmat as he was able to master most of the alien's power, which really surprises Asmat. It seemed that Naruto was a natural born genius, or rather a prodigy, though comparison to, you can say, the Galvins, but still Naruto on the human levels was pretty genius actually. As Asmat was really impressed with Naruto, Asmat knew that his years are finally coming to an end and he needs a legacy which will continue on, as this was his final invention, as he gave powers of the Omnitrix to Naruto, as Naruto was able to master several aliens after several years of training. So yeah guys, and finally Naruto came back to Earth after training with Asmat, as he saw that how his family did not regret it a single thing. After a bit of, you can say, going all around here and there, Naruto was able to figure out that his family actually did not care and even learned the reason of the, you can say, their hatred, their hidden hatred for him and all those type of things. In the eyes of Asmat, a genius, it was pretty foolish. Minato was the one, or rather Third Hokage was the one who sealed away Nine Tails into Naruto. Kushina was angry because Nine Tails killed off so many people, but Nine Tails has already killed thousands, if not millions of people before he was even sealed into Mito or Kushina, but they are only seeing the loss which has done by Ninetales recently, as it was pretty, you can say, stupid in the eyes of Asmat to begin with. But he did not bother with it that much, seeing that Naruto has already had more than enough willpower to go up against them. As Naruto finally came back, pulled a prank on his family, dyeing all of their hair into orange, as the blame went to Menma and Naruto, though they were not so happy about it, but still, yeah, who cares? As Naruto finally went to the academy where his family then looked towards him pretty surprised as they thought that he must have died. Minato thought some strong shinobi must have taken Naruto with them so that they can easily kill him off or anything like revenge or things like that. But it seems that he was still living, which angered and surprises Minato a little bit. Though he did not bother with it, Naruto was not a true Jinchuriki. He only had the body of the Nine Tails and a bit of his chakra, though it does not matter comparable to Menma and Mito. They are far stronger than him. Now let us go onto the side of Naruto and start this video from here on. As Menma was glaring at Naruto, this fool, this buffoon has made fun of him, Menma Namakase, to the heir to the Namakase clan. How dare he? As he will show him his true place, how he was a reject and he was nothing but a failure. As Menma smirked at that, as Naruto also stepped inside of the ring, as Naruto has challenged both of them at the same time, as which angered both Menma and Naruto, but it was a good opportunity to show their dominance, to show that how they are the true prodigies and the leaders here, and all the other kids are nothing comparable to them. As Naruto smirked, huh? So, dear brother, are you ready to learn your true place in front of us? As Menma said, huh, he's just a fool who thinks that he has gotten a bit stronger. Well, nothing compared to us. After all, we are the true destiny child. As Naruto looked towards both of them, huh, did you say something, Menma? Naruto, ah. As Menma gritted his teeth, how dare you to ignore me? Alright, I will show you your place. As Naruto said, alright enough. Today, it is going to be the final match here, as since all three of you here. So let us begin this match, as it is only going to be a taijutsu battle. So do not use any ninjutsu, even if we doubted that any one of them knew any ninjutsu, but still, this was the son of Hokage, or rather the children of Hokage, even though it was common news that the Hokage has disowned Naruto as his son, as whole village knew it. And when Naruto came back, he saw that some of the people were surprised to see him and were avoiding him. Though Naruto already expected that, so he did not bother with it that much. As so he warned them, as Manma said, yeah, I do not need any Chusu to beat this loser to the ground. And Naruto also smacked, alright, I'm looking forward to beating you. It has been some time since I used you as a practice dummy. As Naruto simply looked towards them, just start the match already, Ruka sensei. I have two asses to ground. As Manma scoffed at that, as Ruka said, alright, let the match begin. After seeing that, he jumped away. While on the other hand, the council members were simply looking towards the match as Shikaku said, troublesome. Minato, are you sure that this is a good idea? As Minato simply shrugged. Well, it seems that Naruto somehow has been able to take a seat in academy, but it does not matter. He does not have chakra. And so it will not matter either way, as Shikaku said, troublesome. Minato, you do know that Guy also do not have chakra, but still he is a great Taijutsu expert. And as a matter of fact, he rivals Kakashi. And if Guy were to use his full power, I'm even willing to bet that he can beat Kakashi. As Minato grunted at that, Kakashi was his prized student, which he loved more than even Obito and Rin. So, as saying that someone who did not have even chakra that much was stronger than Kakashi, it was a blow to Minato's pride as Hokage. But he simply shook his head. It does not matter. Naruto is just a loser. I thought that he might have died in these years, but it seems that somehow he survived. Huh. I do not even care if he was even living in the streets. At this, Shikaku simply shook his head. He remembered the time when Minato told him that how much he hated Naruto because he holds the body and the mind of the Nine Tails. In the eyes of Shikaku, it was, you can say, pretty foolish, but it was way too troublesome to argue with Hokage, so he simply shook his head. As while on the other council members were looking towards Naruto, after Naruto simply went off, they tried to search for him, thinking that if they can adopt Naruto into their clan, knowing that he's the son of Hokage, he must have potential. But when Minato explained and told everyone that how his chakra network was destroyed, no one bothered with it, thinking that he would be only a civilian, nothing more than that. Now Naruto was looking towards the children of Hokage as Menma said, I'll be the one beating your ass here, as he rushed towards Naruto with impressive speed, as ready to pummel Naruto to the ground, as he, you can say, tried to kick Naruto to his face, trying to send him flying, but to his surprise, Naruto simply dodged the kick as if it was nothing. As Menma leaped forward and tried to deliver barrage of attacks, as Naruto was simply dodging all of his attacks as Naruto arrived, rushed towards Naruto. Alright, I'll be taking you down now. As she tried to punch him, but then Naruto grabbed the head of Menma and pushed it in front of the punch of Naruto, sending Menma flying. But Menma was able to use a roll into the air and landed as he said, Hey sis, what are you even doing? As Naruto said, Damn you loser, as how dare you to hurt my brother, as she rushed towards Naruto once again, ready to, you can say, attack him even further, as Naruto simply yawned as he leaped, you can say, down the punch which Naruto was trying to hit him, as Naruto grabbed her orange hair, still dyed hair, as Naruto said, what type of color orange it? Huh, you both really are clowns, aren't you? At this, most of the class burst into laughter as Menma gritted his teeth, as Naruto said, let go of my hair, you damn loser. Naruto said, but of course, as Naruto gripped her hair even tighter, as he started to swing her by using her hair, as this Kushina gasped and said, What is that abomination doing to my daughter? As she was about to rush there, as Naruto threw, you can say, Naruto, as Menma was trying to grab Naruto or try to help her, as he sent, you can say, Naruto flying into Menma, as both of them slammed into the ground, as Naruto said, Damn you, you bastard, as Naruto had some of her orange hair in her hand. It seems that you left some hair. As Naruto simply threw her away, as Naruto gritted her teeth, as small, you can say, tears of pain were coming into her eyes. How dare this loser said that to her beautiful hair. It does not matter if they were dyed to orange for today, as she gritted her teeth. I have enough of you, you damn loser. As she, you can say, released her chakra chains towards Naruto, ready to wrap him around. As Naruto said, but of course, dear little sister, as she wrapped Naruto in her chakra chains. Now you will pay for it. She tried to squeeze Naruto, but Naruto simply smirked. Substitution. As then suddenly you can say Menma was switched with Naruto as Menma's eyes widened as Naruto put pressure into her chins as he let out a scream of pain. As Naruto said, "What?" As Naruto simply smirked at that. As Menma said, "Let go of me, Naruto, what have you been doing?" As Naruto said, "Damn it!" As she released Menma, as Menma gritted his teeth. This failure was making fun of them. They are the son and daughter of Okage, and he will pay for this for his insolence. As he said, "You have done it now, you loser," as he made a Rasengan in his hand by using a small shadow clone, not the complete version of it, but incomplete, as Minato had a smile on his face. Now they will show his neglected, or rather rejected son his true place as Menma rushed towards Naruto. As Naruto said, "You know, Menma, using a ninjutsu in a taijutsu battle is forbidden, but it seems that the Hokage is still giving favors to his children." And Naruto said that out loud, pointing towards the council as well as the children as they started to murmur among themselves as Minato gritted his teeth. This was really, you can say, testing his patience as well as his reputation was now online. And Menma said, "Shut up, Rasengan!" As Naruto said, "Maybe you should get some revenge on your dear little sister." Substitution. At this, Naruto simply switched with Naruto as Naruto's eyes widened as she met with the half-incomplete Rasengan, but still powerful enough to send her flying into the wall, knocking her out. As Menma said, "Naruto!" But that was a mistake as Naruto leap kicked Menma on his face, sending him flying. But before Menma was sent flying outside of the ring, Naruto appeared behind him by using accelerator even further speed. No one even saw him as Naruto kicked Menma so hard on his back as a crack could be heard as Menma was sent flying into the air. As after some time he came back, but Naruto kicked him even further, enhancing his kicks with supernatural, you can say, speed and power, sending Menma flying into the air. But Menma this time came as Naruto sidekicked Menma into the same wall in which Naruto was slammed and knocked out, as Menma was slammed into the wall, knocking him out as well. As Naruto said, well, I was expecting better, but yeah, what can you expect from clowns?" As Naruto said that out loud, and most of the children who were surprised as girls had hot in their eyes as they burst into laughter. As Menma looked towards him, that was the last scene he saw, people laughing at him, and which put the, you can say, the seed of utter hatred toward his, you can say, rejected sibling. And that was the last thing he saw and got knocked out. As Kushina was beyond angry, she could not believe it. They trained Menma and Mito for so long, and this rejected son of her was able to beat both of them, and he hurt them. How dare he? And she was about to leap towards Naruto as Naruto started to speak out loud. Well, this was the prodigy of Hokage and the prodigy of the Sanins. Well, if this is the best they can do after trained by so many S-rank shinobis, then they really are just losers. And if this is all they have to offer, well, actually I was expecting a challenge. But yeah, as they simply started to walk away, as then you can say Minato gritted his teeth. He wanted to stop Naruto right then and there, but knew that as he looked around to see some of the, you can say, civilian members who had their children there, as well as some of the clan members were murmuring among themselves, saying that how the Hokage is showing favoritism to his children and how they have lost fair and scared. As Minato gritted his teeth, as he simply shook his head and said, "Alright, we'll be leaving now." As Shikaku simply looked towards Naruto as he said, "Troublesome blondes." As after saying that, he simply went off as Tsunade had already healed both Naruto as well as Menma and took both of them away. And that was the end of it. Now, Naruto finally ended the day somehow as he saw that a black haired boy and a black haired girl was looking towards him pretty patiently, as he could already see both of them seems to be twin, and by the back of their shirt it was the symbol of the Uchiha clan. It seemed that these are Uchihas. As Naruto simply shook his hand in ignoring both of them, as he could see many girls had almost hearts in their eyes as well as blushing by looking towards him. As Naruto simply shook his head and he has other things to do, as he closes his eyes and opened inside of a mindscape. As Naruto looked towards the giant, you can say, figure who was sleeping there, as Naruto said, "Hey QB, wake it up already." As Kurama grunted at that as he looked towards Naruto. What do you want? As Naruto simply shook his head. Oh, well, nothing much. Just getting a bit bored. As Kurama simply chuckled. Well, you have just beaten up my two Jinchurikis. And now you're bored, huh? As Naruto simply shrugged. Well, they were weak to begin with. As Kurama laughed and said, it is not that, you fool. You have gotten stronger. When you can say Naruto started to get all of this power, Kurama started to get better with him. After all, he is the Jinchuriki of the great Kubino Kitsune, and he will not have a weak Jinchuriki. And how strong Naruto got, as Kurama was able to see the enormous powers of these different DNAs. Even Kurama would be, you can say, pale comparison to many of these aliens in terms of powers. As Naruto simply shrugged and said, alright, what do you think now? As Kurama said, you do realize that that council and your father is going to be at your ass soon enough. As Naruto simply shrugged, let them come, Kurama. They will have help from me. And literally, as Naruto put his hand into the air, as flames started to, you can say, envelop Naruto's hand. As Naruto said, Kurama, among all the aliens, the one I like the most is Heat Blast. As Kurama simply chuckled, well, you have no idea what kind of power is lying inside of you now, kid. Let's see how much longer you can keep saying that Heat Blast is your favorite. As Naruto simply shrugged it off. Well, we shall see it sooner, Kurama. So I'll be leaving now. As he simply went off, as Naruto leave the academy, ready to go to his home or ready to teleport there. But then an Ambu landed beside him. Who's Naruto? Galvan, you have been summoned inside of the council. As Naruto simply looked towards him, as he sighed, what do your blonde Hokage want with me? As the Ambu simply looked towards him, as he said, you are blonde as well. As Naruto simply shrugged, well, that does not count. As the Ambu simply shook his head, a bit amused, and said, well, Hokage-sama and council has summoned you there. As Naruto simply nodded at that, as he simply vanished in a green flash. At this Ambu's eyes widened for a moment, wondering it was Russian, but he simply shook his head. There was no way 8 years old knew Asran teleportation technique, and on top of it, the abandoned son of Hokage. Though he simply shook his head. Now, inside of the council room, as Naruto opened the door and started to walk inside, as one Ambu was behind him, as Minato simply nodded at Ambu as he simply went off. As Naruto was looking all around the council room, there was elders as well as civilian council and things like that. As Naruto simply shook his head as he looked towards them. So you want something, Blondie? As blonde Hokage, blonde Kage, what was that? Yeah, blonde Daime. As Minato's eyes twitched at that, as there were some sneakers and chuckles all around, as Minato said, that is Yon Daime. As Naruto said, sorry, I'm an academy student and just joined the academy, so you can excuse me this time, blonde Daime. As Minato now grated his teeth, this kid was making fun of him inside of the council. How dare he? As Kushina was already seething in pure utter rage, as well as Jiraiya was also not happy after all the training he had done, and this kid came out of nowhere, and this strong, he's disturbing the prophecy of the toads, and he will not have it. As Minato simply shook his head. Alright, enough. As all the council felt silent on that, as Minato said, alright, we have some question for you, Naruto Uzuma. But before he could complete his sentence, as Naruto said, that is Naruto Galvan to you, Yondaime. As he looked directly into the eyes of Minato, for a moment Minato flinched, but the amount of power that was beside Naruto's eyes, he simply shook his head. It was nothing. As he looked towards Naruto, alright, whatever. Naruto, we want to ask you, how did you achieve this power? As Naruto simply looked towards him and he blinked. As he looked all around the council, as he said, so you're telling me that just because I have defeated two young kids who have just joined the academy to a bloody pope, but still, two little kids, and this got the attention of the whole council. Really now, as he looked around the council, as the council member was literally looking towards each other, and this kid was putting it like it, as if they were literally fools, and who has nothing better to do than pry into the matters of kids. As Minato said, enough! As he said, they are not kids, they are my kids. As Naruto said, it does not change anything, they're still kids. As At this, you can say some of the council members were now snickering among themselves, and Minato gritted his teeth. Just shut up and answer me already, damn it. As Naruto simply shrugged, well, I was training all of this time. I trained myself into taijutsu and all things like that. As Minato said, bullshit that is. You were not in the village. We tried to search for you. My ambush tried it. As Naruto simply shrugged, and for how long? Yondaime, may I ask? As Minato gritted his teeth, it was right. The search was over before a week to begin with. As he said, it does not matter. Ambush can go literally everywhere in the village. And if you were in the village, you would have been found. So tell us already, where were you? Or were you trained by some enemy shinobi? As he narrowed his eyes towards Naruto. Naruto simply shrugged. Whatever you're saying, Yondaime, it does not matter to me. I was in the forest of death. As this gasp could be heard across the council, as Shikaku Nara said, troublesome. What do you mean by that, forest of death? You do realize that that forest is literally hell, and death itself. As Naruto shrugged, well, if you get used to it, there is nothing bad about it. After all, I did saw one of the Jonins time to time. But what's her name again? Yeah, Anko Mitarashi, I guess. Though she never saw me, but still, I was able to see her time to time. As Naruto congratulated himself after he activated, you can say, the DNA of the Galvans. As his intelligence skyrocketed, so he finally came up with an excuse and planted some false evidence here and there, and you can say put the strategy right. And at the moment he activated the intelligence of the Galvin, knowing about Shikaku Nara and Nara, who can easily pick up on lies and things like that. So he needs intelligence greater than that. And Naruto's own intelligence has skyrocketed after living so much time with someone like Asmat. So yeah, as Chicago said, interesting. What do you mean by that? And what's the reason? Why did you even go there? As Naruto said, I don't know. I was a kid. So I just stumbled upon the forest and for a time I lost there. But you can say, and there were some attacks here and there, but I was able to survive. And in return, I got stronger. As Jiraiya said, but it still does not explain how were you able to use substitution jutsu. Your chakra network should have been destroyed. As Naruto looked towards him, and the keyword is temporarily, Sanin. As Naruto, as Jiraiya's eyes widened for a moment, as Naruto said, yeah, I'm telling the truth. My chakra network was destroyed, but thanks to me having, you can say, you already know, my unique circumstances. You may say that I do not have that much chakra, but perhaps you have forgotten, even the one tail's worth of chakra is equal to Ichibi of. At this, their eyes widened at that. They thought that one tail chakra worth was nothing. But it means that Naruto has more chakra than one tail Shikaku. As Naruto simply looked towards them, and it was able to heal me and my own Uzumaki heritage. Though I would say that my chakra network is not completely healed, but it is healed enough for me to use many jutsus, like low level jutsus of the academy, so it does not matter to me. And my taijutsu improved there after surviving for so long. Well, it was not that difficult or new to me, but still. Yeah, as Minato gritted his teeth, he never even bothered to go or look into the, you can say, forest of death. If Naruto was training there, he should have stopped him and would not have let him grow any stronger. And now the QB Jinchuriki is getting stronger, making QB proud. He will not have it, as no matter what, as Minato gritted his teeth and said, well, if your chakra network is not perfect, we cannot allow you to join the academy. As Naruto simply looked towards him, and that is written, where, Hokage? As Minato's eyes widened as he said, are you questioning my orders, Naruto? As Naruto simply looked towards him, but of course, as a citizen of Konoha Gakure the Satere, as it is my right to question why I am being stopped from my birthright in this village. As a citizen of this village, I am demanding an explanation why am I not allowed to join the academy, or why am I not allowed to become a shinobi. At this, he looked toward the civilian council as well as the shinobi council. Isn't that the reason the council is there, to question Hokage? So there is nothing special, Minato. You should get used to it. As Minato grated his teeth, this kid, how? An 8 years old kid was arguing with the council and winning on top of that, as the council members were literally surprised by that. As Minato said, your chakra network is not perfect, you cannot perform jutsus, which means that you cannot become a shinobi. As Naruto simply looked towards him as he said, oh really now? Last time I checked, there was a green beast of Konoha as well as Might or Die, who was the father of Might Guy, one of the Taijutsu experts in Konoha. Their chakra network is so weak that even I, as an 8 years old and damaged chakra network, can easily match their or even surpass their. Isn't that right, Shikaku Nara? After all, you are a Jonin commander. You should know the loss. Compare considering the shinobi, as Chicago simply grumbled and said troublesome bronze, as I said, but of course, we do realize the potential of Might or Die, who was able to take down all 7 swordsmen of the mist, and not only that, Might Guy is said to be rival of Kakashi Hatake, and even I'm pretty sure if Might Guy were to use all of his power, he can easily defeat even Kakashi Hatake. Minato did not like it whatsoever, as Kakashi was his prize student. He loved Kakashi more than both Obito and Rin combined, as after all, he was his prize student to begin with, and saying that a person who had so weak chakra network was stronger than his prize student was a blow to his pride, which Minato hated even further. As he looked towards Naruto, utter hatred was in his eyes, as Naruto said, "See that, Hokage? If they can pass the academy and become shinobi such as that, my chakra network is healing." As I look towards them, I can perform transformation jutsu as well as the substitution jutsu to quite good degree. As for the you can say clone jutsu, I have not tried it yet, but correct me, Shikaku Nara-san, if when is the time when we academy students start to learn clone jutsu? As Shikaku said, well, it is usually at the second last year when you start to learn some jutsu. As Naruto said, perfect, my chakra network should be healed enough by then. And me possessing a QB, I bet that it is already healing at an incredible rate to begin with. As you can say, Minato said, enough, I said that you cannot join the academy. As Naruto said, but I have already joined. As a matter of fact, as Naruto bring out a small paper, you're the one who signed it. At this, Minato's eyes widened as he said, what? I'd never signed that paper. As Naruto looked towards Chicago Nara, you're the Jonin commander, aren't you? As Chicago simply nodded at that, mind telling me if this stamp belongs to Hokage or is it a fake one? As Chicago simply grumbled as he looked towards the paper and said, well, this stamp does belongs to Hokage. As Naruto looked towards Minato, are you saying that you do not even read the paper while signing or stamping them? Well, you're a one loser of a Hokage if you do not even know which paper you signed. I bet that you have sent hundreds of shinobi to their death. At this, all the council members were looking towards Minato, who was now sweating a bit. Now, he was in a tough spot. He reads the paper. He was sure he never signed anything like that. That's not the smell. As he used the abilities of the ghost freak to possess Minato. And then, you can just sign the paper and stamp on it. And nothing Minato can do now. As Naruto said, then how is that you signed the paper and you do not even know about it? You should really think about your Hokage duties, Blonde Daime. As Minato gritted his teeth. Now he was in a tough spot as Kushina finally stepped in to help him as he said, how dare you to hurt my children, Naruto, and you should not have done it, they're your siblings. As Naruto simply looked towards her as if she has lost her mind and said, what do you mean by that? As Kushina said, why did you hurt them? As Naruto said, well, they are becoming a shinobi and we were in a taijutsu battle, so yeah. At this, most of the shinobi were now chuckling as they looked towards Kushina as if she was a crybaby or anything like that. As Naruto said, well, I have a solution. The way they could never be hurt by anyone. As Kushina looked towards him, what do you mean by that? As Naruto said, pretty simple. Make a seal and seal both of them into it for eternity. That way, nothing can ever hurt them. That is only if their stupidity does not kill them. That is all. At this, most of the you can say council members were looking towards Naruto as if this kid was literally utterly brave or utterly stupid. But it doesn't matter, it was actually working, and all of this was logical and according to the laws, and nothing can be done on it. As Naruto thought, now you guys are just wasting my time here. I have better things to do, and I'm pretty sure that there are clan heads here. Come on, Minato. As he looked towards Minato, who have busy duties, several people to attend to, not like your clan which belongs to, as Naruto put a finger, 1, 2, 3 and 4, yeah, no, not actually, just 2 members, Namakaze clan belongs to 2 members, right? As he looked towards some of the council members who simply nodded. After all, Kushina and Naruko belongs to Uzumaki clan. At this, Minato gritted his teeth as he said, "Don't you have guys anything better to do than to go fight over children methods?" Or something like that. You and I both know there is nothing you can do to stop me from joining the academy. I have the stamp of Hokage here. I have the right as a citizen of this village. So yeah, what's stopping you guys? I really showed talent, didn't I? As he looked towards, you can say, the elders, especially towards Danzo, as he knew the guy really hated Minato and it will not hurt Naruto to use him a little bit. After all, if your children are so special that you can point a special council meeting for them and seeing that you trained them, Kushina trained them, Jiraiya trained them, and Tsunade trained them, 4 aspirant shinobi, huh? But still, they got defeated by me, which means that I'm stronger than them and have more potential than both of them. So, I think that I could be a great asset to the village, right? As Danzo simply nodded, Minato, this meeting is a waste of time. You are really wasting our time. And what is the meaning of you signing paper without even reading them? As Minato gritted his teeth, Danzo will never let it go now. And he is in a tough spot. He has to disband the meeting before anything other can go wrong. As Kushina was now literally seething in pure utter anger. This abomination has made fun of her in front of all of these people who are nothing compared to her, as she really hated him even further. It is not like she loved him before, so yeah, hating him more will not change anything to begin with. But yeah, as Naruto simply shrugged, I have better things to do, so I'll be going. As after saying that, he simply went off, as then Ambu appeared in front of him. As Naruto looked towards Minato. Now what? What do you want, huh? As Minato said, I did not told you that you can leave. As Naruto said, then say it already. We have other things to deal with other than whining over your children got beaten up. What will you do when you will send them to dangerous missions? Just stop. And as a matter of fact, here's a suggestion. Don't make them shinobis because I'm pretty sure that you will be whining that how they got touched in a mission and you will definitely wage war on other villages when your children get hurt or anything like that. So stop them from becoming shinobi and they will never be hurt. Or you can definitely take my first suggestion. Steal them away for eternity. Well, in the Shinigami stomach it will also work, As Minato gritted his teeth on that. As some of the council members, as Chicago said, Minato, there is nothing to discuss too. So disband this meeting already. We have other things to deal with. Naruto is right. We have other members of our clan. As Minato simply nodded at that, knowing that this meeting has to be disbanded now, as he simply moved his hand as Ambus vanished, as Naruto gave Jiraiya, who was simply looking towards Naruto as if he was a devil incarnate, as well as Tsunade, a devilish grin as he simply went off along with Kushina and Minato, who were now seething in pure utter anger and confusion to begin with. As Naruto simply went off to his own merry way. As good boy. As I was saying, where was I? Naruto simply went off. Now let us cut back to Namakase mansion as Minato was looking towards Jiraiya, Tsunade as well as Kushina as both Menma and Naruto were healed up as Menma was seething in pure utter rage. As he looked toward Naruto, it is all because of you. As Naruto looked towards him, what do you mean by that? As he said, you punched me, you kicked me, and not only that, you squeezed me in your chakra chains. It is only because of that I was weaker and that loser was able to beat me. There's no way he would have beaten me otherwise. As Naruto gritted her teeth, well, it is not my fault that you slammed the Rasengan into me and knocked me out, as well as not only that, as you were coming in front of my attacks every time I tried to attack him. As Kushina said, enough both of you. As it is none of your fault, it is all because of fault of Naruto. He cheated in the match. As Menma said, yeah, he cheated. That is the only reason we lost. Otherwise, he's nothing but a loser. As Kushina simply nodded at that. But of course, you are both stronger than him. Just remember that. As Jiraiya saw it and said, Minato, I do not know if Naruto is telling the truth. Do you think that he was trained by some enemy shinobi? As Minato simply shook his head, I don't think so. He was trained by enemy shinobi or anything like that. I would have known by it. And your chakra and your spy network would have informed us either way. As Jiraiya simply nodded at that. As Tsunade said, well, I didn't warn you about your decisions at all, but you never bothered. As Minato said, but his chakra network was destroyed. As Tsunade said, temporarily, Minato, I told you. As he said, but his chakra network should have come at the age of 15 or 14. As Tsunade sighed and said, Minato, in the field of medicine, these are just, you can say, predictions. We can always only predict. We did not knew that his healing factor would have increased because of the injuries and because of his chakra so much. It was able to heal his network even further, and now he has become really strong. And I think that in the future he will become a force to reckon with. I do not know what's the main problem. You are training both of your heirs. You took the title of the heir from him. But look around, he did not do anything to your family. He's just living on his own now. And as a matter of fact, I'm pretty surprised that he was living in the forest of death to begin with. And if he can survive there, which means that he is really strong, Minato, for his age. As Minato gritted his teeth, he did not have any problem with Naruto, but the idea of the Nine-Tails living comfortably into him and he was hosting the Nine-Tail really angered Minato. How many people suffered? How many people died because of the Nine-Tails? And Naruto is hosting it instead of him, as only the thought of it make Minato even further angrier, and words could not describe it. As Kushina said, yeah, and he heard it, both Menma and Mito. As Tsunade simply shook her head, Kushina, they're becoming shinobis. We have to come to reality. How many times you and Minato both came back with broken bones when you were under the tutelage of your Jonin sensei, Kushina? Just tell me already. And if you do not want them hurt, then don't make them shinobi. As Naruto said, but Granny, you should support us, not that loser. As Tsunade simply shook her head. Well, I'm supporting none of. Not you, not Naruto, or not anyone. I'm just trying to make some sense here. You guys are thinking like children. You two are already children, but your parents should think rationalized. Minato, you're Hokage, and don't try to do anything stupid. I know that about your circumstances with Naruto, and I already warned you that you are just doing stupid things, but I will not have it that you are trying to destroy the future generation of Naruto, of Konoha. Just think about it. If Naruto can become a strong shinobi, what it is for Konoha, right? So just stop it already. As Minato sighed, now this was testing the patience of Hokage. On one hand, he hated, you can say, the kid, but on the other hand, he was becoming a shinobi of village, and which he leads. It is better for Konoha. As he gritted his teeth, he always hated when he has to choose between himself and the side of Hokage and the decisions which were good for village. As he grumbled, as he said, alright, I will not interfere of him being a shinobi. I don't think that his chakra network, as Tsunade simply shook her head. Minato, his chakra network is already healed more than enough. He can perform jutsus. Didn't you see how flawlessly he substituted? And as a matter of fact, I did not even knew that he can substitute with a living person. I thought that only you can substitute with substances. As Minato simply nodded at that, also wondering the same thing. As while on the other hand, Jiraiya was listening to all of this silently, he spent years finding the child of the destiny of, you can say, of which great old Toad saw the future of saving the world or destroying it. And now Naruto is threatening that thin line, and he will not have it. He has to do something. He has to train Menma and Mito, even Menma and Naruto even further, so that they can achieve their destiny. And to save the world, he has to do it. As he simply nodded at that, it seemed that we were lacking in the training of both Menma and Naruto. It's about time we start to train them even further. As a frown came to the face of Kushina. What are you talking about, Jiraiya? We were training them just fine. Just looked at them. Both of them knows the Shadow Jutsu, even the Rasengan, not complete, but still, Naruto was able to pull out her chakra chains as well. As Jiraiya said, well, if they lost to him, who did not have any special training, it is really an insult to us, Kushina. Didn't you saw people looking towards us as if we were some weakling, and all these stories about us were just simply lies? As Kushina frowned, as well as Minato at that, and even Tsunade simply shook her head. I knew that it would be troublesome to train such children. As they looked towards both of them, alright, now you are associated with our names, so we will have to push both of you. So get ready for the hard work. As Melma said, yeah, Granny, teach me some awesome jutsu so that I can roast him alive. As Tsunade simply shook her head, well, it is not for you to win against him, Menma, Naruto. It is for you to become strong shinobis. Do you understand? As both of them simply grumbled and said, alright, Granny, we will do that. as Naruto was beyond angry. Her hairs were pulled out because of Naruto, and she will have her revenge no matter what. And she simply looked towards, as Tsunade simply looked towards both of them and change your hair color back to red. Just what are you guys telling them as you look towards both Minato and Kuchina, as then suddenly their hands also dissolved at this. Jiraiya looked towards both of them and he tried to suppress a laugh as Minato said, "What?" As he said, "Your hair." As Minato's eyes widened along with Kushina as she grabbed her hair. Damn it! As she tried to use hands again as Kushina as Tsunade sighed. And what is with you guys an orange color? Damn it! As Minato grumbled as he looked towards both of them. "Alright, you are grounded even further time." As both of them simply grumbled that they did not do anything wrong. And they simply went off as Tsunade simply shook her head, wondering what Minato and Kushina had happened to both of them. As well as Jiraiya was on the same boats, but still laughing at the same time. But yeah guys, here I will leave this part if you guys enjoyed it. For the next part, the like goal is going to be, let's see, 250 likes and 180 comments. Do that and I shall upload the next part as quick as possible. So yeah guys, yeah, peace.